Okay.
Oh, very
How are
normal.
you today, Bolat? How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm sitting at my work and
Okay.
waiting you. What about you?
Well, I was expecting, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on your program, on your video channel, YouTube channel. I am one of your 1,000 followers you have, and well, I'm ready to talk about everything you want me to.
Thanks for subscribers and for following. It's very good for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
And I am very appreciate with you because we every time helped and supported me, and it's very good for me.
Oh, you are kind of person that everybody wants to help. I think you are a pretty nice person, and you had a beautiful soul. And why not?
Yes, but it's a good experiment.
Yeah.
But it's a very difficult. It's not easy. Before this time, when I started study English, I think it was very easy, but it's not very easy. It's very difficult. And now I want to confess,
Mhm.
confess. Um, study myself, yourself, for example. It's very difficult because sometimes lose my motivation, and I can don't did learn it. Did learn it 1 or 2 weeks. I I can uh, I can throw my study, and after 2 or 1 week, I take my motivation, my hand, and continue. And
Okay.
when you study with teacher, it's very good because teacher was every day take a exercise and take a motivation, and it's good.
Sure. Sure. How much time do you take to study English? How much time of your time do you take to study English?
I today it was 6 months, exactly 6 months.
But day by day, you start your day. You take a breakfast, and go to work, and when you study English in your day,
Hmm. Um, I
and
every day,
how long it does it take to you?
yeah,
How long does it take?
I every day. I don't know. Sometimes I studied 1 hour in one day,
Mm.
and I can 2 or 3 days don't don't approach this English, and again begins.
Okay. And how do you think you have improved on your language? Uh, how high you think you are scaling and your level? I
Um,
mean, from 1 to 10.
no, I don't know exactly, but it seems to me it's pre-intermediate. It's not intermediate,
Mhm.
pre-intermediate, because I can speak and I can understand, but I don't understand very clearly. For example, you speak, and I catch.
Some
Some
words.
words from your sentence, and I understand what about this sentence. but I can't catch every your words.
Okay. You figure out how to understand all sentence and some words you understand, and you guess that what you perceive is the same thing I'm trying to mean. That's and you want me to speak slowly. Do you want me to speak more slowly or something like that for you to understand better?
Yes, if you speak slowly, maybe I can catch every word, but
Yeah.
but it's not every day. I regularly listen podcasts, and I can understand full topics, but I catch some words and I understand what about this topic.
Okay. Well, if you I'm gonna tell you something. I want to recommend you to listen to Tiffany. Tiffany is a pretty good teacher, English teacher on internet, and perhaps she has those tips that you need to understand to improve your English. I think I'm intermediate English too, but every day I have to be on internet, getting some language, getting some idioms, slangs, and those things that goes with a native English speaker for to look like an English native speaker. So I recommend Tiffany. Tiffany, you search into your computer and on internet, and she's a pretty good teacher.
But
I think that
into the internet, very more teachers and very more good teachers too.
Teacher Mike.
I listen Teacher Mike, yes, Teacher
Yeah.
Mike, and I listen Voice of America, and Cambridge, what's Cambridge English School.
Okay, but the accent may vary, from Europe and America. The accent just vary, so sometimes you get confused, for the sounds of better or better, and some things change when you pronounce some words that may be different from one side to another, so well, I think that I would recommend you that you stay on only one side, British or American. When you specialize in one in one accent, you go to another accent. I think that it probably can be the best choice you have.
Yes. Accent is a very more problems, very more problems, because before this time.
Sorry, I'm gonna change my position.
Okay.
Change my position because I can see myself. No. Yeah. My son is talking to me that change my position. He's recommending me, suggesting me that change my position.
Yes, I understand.
Oh, you can see me. You can see me now better.
Yes, it's no problem.
Okay.
I want to tell you about accents. Before this time, recently, I talked with American girl Francesca from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think you watched this video.
Yeah.
Yes.
All your videos.
And I understand mostly your words. Then I made conversation with Indian guy, and I compare with these conversations, and I understand mostly American joke than Indian, because Indian guys have an Indian accent. It's a very difficult for me was.
For everybody, I guess. Well, it's difficult for me too. You know, I don't know why. Perhaps because of the zone they live in, or I don't know, but or you get used to watch American movies or English, British movies, and so you get into that, no? I guess that's where you never seen people from India. Uh, you can watch them in the movies, but some Indian people speak like American and native English speakers. They do though.
No, I don't notice accent from you, maybe I can't notice. Maybe you have a accent. I don't know. But no, I can't notice South American accent. But I don't know South American accent. I don't meet with accent. And the Indian accent. Very clear show, very clear. But your accent, it's not. I think you don't have an accent.
Okay, neutral. Perhaps it's neutral.
But I want to ask you, have a South American accent.
South American accent. I guess that I have, you know, so one friend of a friend of mine told me that I have a Texas accent. A friend of mine told me that. So I don't know, but I think that South America doesn't have an accent. I think they don't have it.
Before this time, I made conversation with Colombian girl, and she don't let me publish it our conversation because she was shy. She was shy. And I understand here very difficult.
Okay, you didn't understand well.
She understand me very perfect, but I can't understand most
Yeah,
your words.
I get you. I get you.
Yes,
Well,
we talked about Colombia, about Venezuela, and about weather. It was very interesting. She worked in firm. What's right? Firm. She worked as a agricultural sector.
okay.
She have a
The feet.
little
She's feet.
little farm, little farm, and she hold goats. She hold goats, very different goats than our goats. These goats have a very long wolves.
Yeah, no. We call those animals here. We call chivo or chiva. Chivo or chiva is CHIVA. Chiva. We call those animals here. It's a family. It's a family from goats.
Yes, she tell me these goats very similar Himalayan goats. They have a very long wools, and she earned money from sellers these wools and from sellers milk from this goat.
Yeah, milk. They produce milk from those, and they also make sweets or candies. You know, they prepare those milk, they freeze up, and they boil, and then they are freezing up, and it comes out a sweet. You know, it's a little square that you can eat. Is delicious. The the sweet that produce the goats. And here in Venezuela, in some sectors, some places, uh, we made that stuff. Okay, the farmers are there are farmers, but the goats are on the streets, and some places here in Venezuela are on the street. No, you can collect them if you want.
But
And
she tell me about very interesting facts, and this fact was surprised for me. She told me about immigration for United States, and I asked about English. I asked such question: why are you study English? And she answer me mostly Colombian and Venezuelan and middle American peoples study English. Just every people want to immigrate or immigrate to United States, and for this mostly people study English. It's true information.
well, yeah, there is a massive runaway people from these countries. That's the issue we were talking about before. The month ago, the first time we met on internet. uh, people try to find better uh, better situation of their lives, going to the United States. They think that their life is better. They find a job. They can have their dreams, to make the dreams come true, going to the U.S. But some people doesn't run with that luck. No, some people have to get back because they don't get used to the weather or things like that. But it's true that people is going now. It's run. Some friend of mine, I don't have friend right now here, but all of my friends are there, are in the United States.
And
So
I remember you told me about your visit in to the USA, and I ask about this visit. Why are you made visit to United States? I think maybe for rise your English level or for work.
well, I told you I lived in the U.S. many years ago. It was the beginning of 90s or 90s. I spent there 2 years, but I made a course in Indianapolis. Then I lived in New York, and I get all the English you could get when you share with people, but not too many people. I get all my I improve my English by studying myself on internet, and even my son and my daughter speak some English. My son speak English very well. Sometimes speak English with him, and and with I talk to myself. I look in the mirror and speak English in front of the mirror with myself and answer myself and ask questions myself, and that's the way. But all my friends who speak in English, they don't speak English with me. They speak in Spanish. So I guess they don't want to practice because they don't need it. So you have when you're not surrounded with people who speak English, you have to find yourself speaking English by yourself.
And before you you visited for United States, your English was very poor.
Yeah. I had the first time I was in front of the restaurant, and a friend of mine told me, you go get the queue, go on the line, and you ask yourself your food. And I asked my food, and the girl uh, tell me how do you want your meat? I didn't understand it, and I got crazy, and I had to ask for help. Hey, come on, come on! The line of the people was back on my back was desperately, and I get so nervous. It was the first time, but you have to have the need. You have to feel hungry. You have to feel the desire for you to learn. You have to have the need. So it's pretty important to get surrounded with people who speaks English every day, because they point at something and they name it, and so you get the meaning of the words and everything. That's what I'm saying. I could learn too much. I could learn too much. But when I got back to Venezuela, I didn't practice so much, and I forgot some things, and they have to turn back to studying English. Yeah, and I guess I can make myself understand. I can teach because I study too much before to teach a class, before teaching a class. Sorry, um, and I have to study every day. I have to study to what lesson I'm gonna show to my students.
Mm. Yes, I agree with you because these people's what's right. American states consist with American English language and study English very easy
Yeah.
between these peoples who speak English.
Well, look, I have noticed that you have improved a lot, and understanding the situation of your language and your vocabulary. I don't know if I can call your ABC. I don't know if your country has your ABC. It's kind of different. Even if I try to write, I can write as an American because we use the same ABC. You don't use the same ABC. You have to change. You have to learn silence letters that have in the USA. You never name the L. For example, you have to say talk, not talk, talk. So some else that you can find in the minute, you have to drop it. Okay, you have to get those letters off for you to improve your pronunciation. But I see that you have improved a lot. You have to improve a lot. You have improved.
I know American English and the English, Britain English, very different, and the mostly words very different and not similar.
Yeah. But I mentally understand. I I understand them when they speaking slow. But the all the other thing that you have to know is the custom. Is the custom. Whenever you understand a joke, if you understand a joke, you consider as American or British, because jokes are, you know, the main source of the language. Jokes, when they tell jokes, you understand, you laugh. That's the most difficult thing that you can face, the understanding a joke.
Maybe I think in customs maybe language mixed with Latin American and American language, American English and Latin American language, and this mixed and very different for understand.
Well, do you think that, come again? I couldn't get what you were saying.
I about America, very big country, and the
Mhm.
south part, live mostly live Latin American peoples, and
Yeah,
I think south part speak is not very clear American language, American English. They speak American English with mixed Latin American language, and uh, American language, American English, and the Latin American language mixed, and what's right, and come in different language, very similar English.
okay. Well, you know, it's curious because when I was searching on internet about North America and the US, now appears that they speak two languages. They speak Spanish and English. You know, before, uh, I think 10 years ago, all you could watch that only appears this is English spoken country, but now appears that they speak Spanish and they speak English, because probably 40% of the population speaks Spanish.
If you know Spanish language in south part of America, you will walk very freely.
All right, of course. Even if I go to Brazil, they speak Portuguese, and I can understand very well Portuguese. I can understand very well Portuguese. Matter of fact, I am doing a course of Portuguese, um, and you can move on all Latin America or America, me till you get to Mexico. That's where they speak Spanish, and some Mexicans speak English. On the, you know, the borderline, on the boundaries, they speak English pretty well.
Okay. And I understand your visit to America very helped for you, for your English and for improve your level, and it's very good for you. And
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your teaching. Your teaching. You began. You began.
When do I begin?
You began
I do.
your teaching way after this American visit.
I do. I start teaching, I guess, 15 years ago, but you know, I stopped teaching and I started to work in many companies here. And then I got back because it, there is a lack of people who can teach English because everybody went out. And the school where my kids were studying, they need a teacher, and my son told them that I could speak English, and they called me, and I started speaking to teach. But I'm not, I'm not a graduate professor. Only just I know the language, and I have to train. I have to train on English by internet and made some courses. I could, could teach, and every day I have to improve my teaching skills because you have to be prepared, and I want them to, to learn. I am the one that teach some simple things, basic things, and send them to, to watch some movie, I mean, some YouTube channels, and then bring back their homework, and we discuss it in classes.
Mhm. Okay, okay. And I think for you very easy study English because you every day teaching and
Yeah.
take new skills and in your home into your home you have a partner for speaking.
Yeah.
Good for
They,
you.
they, 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 they I mean, I don't know. I always try to speak in English. They reply me. They answer me back, and I don't know. All of a sudden, we found ourselves speaking in Spanish again. But I right now I am doing some courses from California University, for me to teach better, for me to improve my grammar, because for me it's pretty important. Grammar is pretty important because you have a base, for how to build a sentence, a clauses, different clauses, and how to punctuate, sentence is pretty important. And you don't have to let loose those, those issues, because people have to keep the tradition. Sometimes I know the world is moving on, escalating, but uh, I don't know why some people try to get mm, into ignorance for new people who's learning English. This is the best way for you to learn English. You have to speak like they speak on the streets. Are you following me? Are you following me? Are you following me?
You no, you have a special channel.
Yeah, no. If you are following me, what I'm talking about, I am, when I say you, if you are following me, that's if you are connected what I'm saying right now. If you understand.
Yes, yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Okay. So I was telling you that some teachers on internet try to make people don't study grammar, not to study grammar, and I think it's important to study grammar.
But grammar it's very difficult, very difficult.
Yeah. You say once that you have to learn. The first thing you have to learn is vocabulary, and then you get into grammar. That's nice, but whenever you find yourself ready, you have I suggest you to learn grammar.
Yes, but it's not only grammar very difficult. English language have a special idioms. Idioms, what's right?
Idioms.
Idioms. It's a
Idiom.
very difficult too. And the,
Yeah, of
and
course.
the, and the second difficult, third difficult part, it's a more what's right, more translators. One word
Mhm.
have a mostly translators. Most
Well,
uh,
there is one that can translate idioms because you have to study the customs, from American or British people. You have to study the custom for you to understand the idioms, slangs. They call it slangs. So is the street talking, I guess. And there is a dictionary on internet that can translate those idioms. It calls people, DEEPL, and somebody recommend me that I search for an idiom I can understand. They translate into your language. You probably may have that resource for you.
but for example, if you meet with American guys on the street, and these American guys began talk with you with idioms, you understand very perfect?
I can get, not very perfect, but I can get if I don't understand anything, I say sorry. Could you explain me what you meant? And it's easy. That's it. And so okay, I understand. But some words I understand because I follow teachers that they explain idioms, they explain slangs, and I have a teacher Cody that explain all just slangs and idioms. There is 2 minutes left, Bola. There is 2 minutes left.
Yes, yes, I know. I see. I think maybe original American guys, some American guys don't understand these idioms too. I think because very
Yeah,
idioms.
there are many parts of it. I was living in Indianapolis, and some slang from Indianapolis, in New York, you don't understand. They they don't understand. Some people ask me where I was from, and I was from Venezuela. They understand Minnesota. I say Venezuela, they understand Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota. They thought that I was saying Minnesota instead of Venezuela. Okay, and probably they might get confused. And the way you speak. Less than
Okay.
1 minute.
Mr. Leonardo, you give me more interesting information and more useful information. Now my time will
It's
finish.
off.
Yes,
Mm.
and today's our conversation give me motivation again. My motivation with every day.
Okay. Whatever. Anytime.
New
We can meet
motivation.
anytime. We can meet anytime, Bola. We can anytime on Thursday. Anytime.
Oh, thanks. I know. I remind or what's right. Today's day. I remind
Okay, you
every
remember.
Thursday. Every Thursday you